there lies the importance. That is, peptide bond has to be formed between this first amino acid and the second amino acid, right? So for that, what we should do, okay, what the ribosome does. Hi friends, this is Vishnu here. Welcome to my channel, Tips, Tricks and Concepts by Vishnu. So recently many students have been asking about translation, okay, to do a video on translation. So in this video we will be discussing about the translation topic, that is how this mRNA, which is synthesized inside the nucleus, is coming out, okay, it's coming out and then it is converted into the protein. So we are talking about that translation process in which the mRNA is converted into proteins, okay. But before going into the topic, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel as soon as possible. And there are many good old videos like how to study the unit cell table in chemistry, the solid state, then gravitation chapter, then skeletal system, the bones, that is bones of the skull, and so on, okay. There are many videos, so please go to the channel and watch those videos, okay. So let's go to the topic. Also, we have to know a little about the tRNA structure, okay. tRNA, you can see the structure of tRNA here, and we have this one, okay, the lower arm as the anticodon loop, okay, that is the codon which is complementary to the codon on the mRNA, okay, which codes for the particular amino acid. So this amino acid, where does it attach? It attaches to the upper arm, okay, that is the amino acid acceptor end. Okay, similarly we have two other arms which are, okay, one of it is the enzyme attachment end, okay, I will tell which enzyme, okay, one is the enzyme attachment end and the other one is the ribosomal attachment end, okay. So friends, now let's come to our translation. In translation, as you know, the product is the proteins, that is, in proteins, what are the monomers? We have the amino acids. So the amino acids are connected together by peptide bond. But you must know one thing, that is, this peptide bond to be formed, there is requirement of ATP, that is, it is an energy requiring process, that is the formation of bonds, that is peptide bonds between the amino acids, okay. So where is this energy from? For that, this amino acid, okay, the amino acid which is required for making this protein, okay, each amino acid has to combine with ATP, okay, and it forms an energy abundant molecule, okay, it is an energy rich molecule, okay, amino acid and ATP, and this in turn binds with its own respective tRNA, that is that amino acid's respective tRNA, and hence forms a charged tRNA, and that process is known as charging of tRNA or amino acylation of tRNA, okay. So this process is happening in the case of each of the amino acids, okay. So meanwhile, what is happening on the other side, that is with ribosome as well as the mRNA which is to be translated, okay. So as you know, where is the protein synthesized? In the ribosomes, okay. So we have two subunits for these ribosomes, that is, the ribosomes exist in two subunits, that is 50S and 30S subunits in case of prokaryotes and 60 and 40S in case of eukaryotes. So I will refer just as bigger and smaller subunit, okay. So these ribosomal subunits, both these ribosomal subunits are made up of certain rRNA as well as proteins, okay, and there is importance for this rRNA which I will tell later, okay. So when an mRNA comes out of this nucleus, then this small subunit, okay, the smaller subunit, they identifies that mRNA which is to be translated and attaches to that mRNA. Then the corresponding ribosomal bigger subunit also comes and attaches with the mRNA, and that is this mRNA and small ribosome unit complex, okay. But here we have to know one extra point regarding our bigger ribosome, that is the bigger ribosome, okay, the bigger ribosomal subunit has three sites, that is E, P and A, okay, E, P and A, and here A and P are the most important sites, okay, and that A is the attachment site for the new tRNAs and P is the peptidyl site where the peptide bond is formed, and E site is the exit site, okay. I will explain about it very much clearly, okay, please listen carefully. Now let's come to our mRNA and the mechanism, okay. So the mRNA, as it comes out of the nucleus, the smallest subunit goes and identifies it and binds to that mRNA. Meanwhile, what does a bigger ribosomal subunit do? it also comes and attaches to this mRNA smaller subunit complex, okay, and hence it forms something like this, okay, that is the ribosome attached to the mRNA, okay, and it attaches, okay, the larger subunit attaches in such a way that the start codon, okay, the start codon, which is the start codon AUG, okay, so AUG comes in the P site, okay, so what is the tRNA corresponding to this AUG? We have the initiator tRNA, that is the methionine tRNA, okay, so the initiator tRNA binds to this P site, okay. So the initiator tRNA is the only tRNA which attaches directly to the P site instead of the A site, okay. The initiator tRNA directly attaches to the P site, okay, and this P site we have it corresponding to the AUG, okay, AUG codon of the mRNA, that is the start codon. Then what happens is that we have the next codon, okay, the ribosome, the A site reads the next codon, and hence the corresponding tRNA of that codon, okay, here it is UUU, and hence which is UUU standing for phenylalanine. So the phenylalanine tRNA, which is already synthesized, comes here, that is the amino acid tRNA, that is the charged tRNA, the energy bound molecule comes here, okay, and attaches at the A site of the bigger ribosome. Okay, there lies the importance. That is, peptide bond has to be formed between this first amino acid and the second amino acid, right? So for that, what we should do, okay, what the ribosome does, that is, this ribosome, as I have told before, it is made up of rRNA and some proteins, right? So here peptidyl transferase is an enzyme within this ribosome, okay, it is an rRNA, that is, in case of prokaryotes, which act as the peptidyl transferase is our 23S rRNA, while in case of eukaryotes it is 28S rRNA, okay. So this ribosomal RNA acts as the enzyme, and hence this peptidyl transferase is an example for the ribozyme, that is the non-protein enzyme, because we have studied in our biomolecules chapter that almost all enzymes are proteins and the exception is the ribozymes, okay. So this peptidyl transferase, that is the 23S rRNA of the this ribosome, causes the peptide bond to be formed between this energy rich amino acids, okay, and hence a peptide bond is formed. So this is one of the enzymes that attaches to the enzyme attachment end of the tRNAs, okay. So you now know the importance of the enzyme attachment end. So how it is attaching to the ribosome, the tRNA, how it is attaching to the ribosome? By the ribosomal attachment end of the tRNA, okay. So there lies the importance of the ribosomal attachment end. So what will be the next step? We have the peptide bond formed between the amino acids, and then there is no need for this first tRNA, that is the tRNA in the peptidyl site, right? So there will this amino acid will be separated from this tRNA, and the ribosome further moves, okay, the further moves or reads along this mRNA, that is go to the next codon, okay. So what happens, this tRNA, that is the first tRNA, okay, the previous tRNA which was present in the P position comes to the E site, that is the exit site. So the exit site, only importance is that from it is the from the exit site that the this used tRNA is removed, okay. We are removing that used one, okay, we are removing that used one off, okay, that's all. We are telling bye bye to it, okay, so that's all. Okay, so what happens then? The tRNA which was present the A site came to the P site, and then it reads the next codon, okay, that is the next codon. Here we have the GUG, that is GUG stands for valine, and hence this corresponding valine tRNA comes and attaches to this A site. Peptide bond is formed with the action of peptidyl transferase, and hence we have a protein chain with the methionine, then phenylalanine and valine, okay, and similarly it goes on and on, okay, the process continues, that is it then reads the next amino acid, okay, next codon. Meanwhile what was present in the P site comes to the E site, while what was present in the A site comes to the P site, okay. So it is in the P site or the peptidyl site that is the peptide bond is formed, okay. The peptide bond formed tRNA lies in the P site, okay, and A site for the attachment of the new amino acid except the initiator tRNA, okay. So finally what happens, that is when it reaches a stop codon, that is what are the stop codons? We have the UAA, UGA and UAG. So if we reaches any of the stop codon, what happens is that you must remember one thing, the tRNA, there is no particular tRNA for our stop codon. So no tRNA comes and binds at the A site. So what binds to the A site? A release factor binds, and hence this tRNA is removed off and we have the entire protein released out. Okay, here is how every protein is synthesized in our ribosome, and hence ribosome acts as a protein factory. Okay, now I hope you are familiar with what is translation. Okay, now I will familiarize with some words about translation too. Okay, that is untranslated regions. Okay, UTRs. What do you mean by UTRs? That is, for effective protein synthesis to occur, we have some spaces, okay, some spaces in the mRNA as untranslated regions. That is, they are not at all translated. Okay, they are not at all translated because you may use your common sense to believe that. That is, what happens if all the coding strands, okay, of all the coded mRNAs, that is, all the mRNAs that is to be translated, come together. Okay, suppose this is one strand. Okay, this is a one region, that is a coding region, the translated region between a start codon and a stop codon, and this is another region of the same mRNA, and if they are present together, what happens? It will be very difficult at this site to separate these proteins, okay, after they are formed. Okay, that's why they are present. Okay, there are some untranslated regions in between, and so it becomes easy for this proteins to be released and this proteins to be released. Okay, so for that easiness and for that efficient process to take place, we have some untranslated regions, okay, that are called as UTRs. Okay, next few words are the initiation, propagation or elongation, as well as the termination phase. That is nothing but initiation phase is the phase in which the initiated tRNA comes and binds with the P site that corresponds to the AUG codon of the mRNA. Okay, that process is called as initiation, and the elongation phase or the propagation phase is the process in which further codons are read and the corresponding tRNAs comes and binds with the A site. Okay, and a peptide bond is formed at the P site between the two amino acids. Okay, the one in the P site and one in the A site. Okay, and what is the termination phase? The termination phase is the phase in which the release factor binds to this sites and releases the entire protein out. Okay, so I hope now we are clear with what is translation and how it is taking place. Okay, the what is given in your textbook is a little confusing. Okay, and I have told it in a very much oriented manner. Okay, so if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask me, and if you understand the topic very clearly, please like the video, and also please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Okay, I will be back with more such good videos, and bye bye for now. All the best.